Listen up now, it's time for a treat.
This is the Andre White Talk Show.
It's a call-in show. 404-355-8699 locally or 866-923-2860 out of town.
So what do you think?
Anything under the sun is fair game.
We talk about the issues. We talk about the things that are going to move this country forward.
Andre White tells it like it is.
Don't come in here with that.
No punches pulled.
Put on your big boy pants and stay on the porch.
One way or another.
Either you love him or you hate him.
The most important thing is,
from the White House to the outhouse, on Andre White Talks, we tell it like it is.
It's time for Andre White Talks on Love 860.
Welcome, everyone. This is Andre White. You're listening to Andre White Talk. I'd like to thank all of our listeners, and as always, thanking our sponsors, Roberts Family Dental, Wayfield Foods, Precision Auto and Collision.
Right now I have in the studio, as I mentioned before the break, one of my oldest friends, Mrs. Vivian Fleming Alvarez. How are you?
I am well. Why do you have to put old in front of my name?
Okay. Well, she's
Just
not so
saying.
old. I mean, she's older than me, but she ain't so old. Well, here's the thing. As I said, one of my good friends from way back. You like that better?
I like that better.
Okay.
Thank you.
We grew up in the same neighborhood. Our families know each other, and we've just grown up around each other most of our lives, all of our lives. And some people you lose touch with, and with the advent of social media, you get to follow, you keep up with them and whatnot. And some people you wish you hadn't, but that's just the nature and the good and bad of social media. But what's been interesting about our journeys is that, we all grow up and we do this adult thing. We become parents, we become husbands, mothers, wives, and all this whole deal. And we tend to, in some cases, and a lot of people may experience this, we kind of lose ourselves. We become more identified as a mother or a father or a husband or a wife than that individual with certain hopes, dreams, and aspirations and how we see ourselves. I was riding in the car with my family last week, and I looked at my daughters, and we were having a different conversation. But I was saying, every now and again, I look at you guys, and I wonder, who the hell are you? Where'd you come from? How did I get here? And who are you? Mm-hmm. And it just really spoke to the fact that you see yourself one way. Maybe other people see you in a different way. But the reason I bring that up in that way is because you've taken a journey that I would say was very bold and brave that a lot of people would not take. And let me set all of this up by saying we're going to jump to where you are and then we're going to go back.
Ooh,
Okay. You are a working actress. You are, one person described it to me, the biggest of all oddities. You are a working black female actress.
Yes, I am. I am a working member of SAG-AFTRA actor in the Southeast.
Now, tell our audience some of the films and productions and theatrical events that you've been a part of and which defines you as an actress.
I'm going to start with the most recent one.
Yes.
Greenleaf. I am Lorraine Ingram, and I'm Mac, or Robert McCready's girlfriend.
And I heard they're not a very...
I don't want to do any spoilers, but
okay.
Yes, it's a very difficult character for myself, and I'm not treated very well. And yes, I need some people on my side to stick up for Lorraine.
Yes, okay.
So, and then the last gig I had was on Bloodline and Netflix. I was Mrs. Ortiz, another abused woman. There's a theme going on here. Mm-hmm. And then Being Mary Jane, Bloodline, Banshee. I did the B's for a while. I was trying to cross over to the C's. But I've done 12 Years a Slave, which was an Oscar-winning picture, and I believe it was 2014. And a movie called Free World, Free to Ride, Let's see here. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Directed my own production a couple of years ago, a short film called Sisters. Then I wrote a screenplay, which is in the final process right now, stages of it. And now I'm also just crossed over to directing my first 3 music videos.
Wow.
Yay!
Yeah, those are some 12 Years a Slave, Being Mary Jane, Greenleaf. Those are big deals.
Queen Sugar.
Queen
Forgot
Sugar.
Queen Sugar,
Okay.
yes.
Here again. Those are some big deals. And I don't spend a lot of time watching a lot of shows, but I have been able to tune in and kind of see what it is and what it's about. And one of the main reasons I wanted you to come on is not only because of the type and level of work that you're now doing, but to talk about the road that you took here, and we go back to grade school, middle school, high school, and out of high school, I remember you being
You gonna say it? You gonna say it?
We're gonna go there. You being a cheerleader for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Go Bucks.
That's right. So, and matter of fact, you had another friend of ours, Cynthia
Myers?
Myers, that was there with you, and then you went on. You were working with the post office.
Wow, lucky you did your work. Yes.
And then
real estate.
Then you did real estate, and we were having a conversation the other day that we were talking about our exposure to things and what we did not know growing up, what we did not know was available to us. And we're going to take a 1-minute break, and when we come back, we're going to start there and get up to where you are. And the reason I think that that's important is because Atlanta has the market that is a growing TV and movie market. There are a lot of people out here that would love to get in the game. They may not know how to get started, and they may not be realistic about what it takes to win in this industry. So when we come back, we're going to finish our conversation with Vivian Alvarez, and we're going to talk more about what it takes to be in the film industry. Welcome back. This is Andre White. You're listening to Andre White Talks. We're here with Vivian Fleming Alvarez, a working actress.
Hello, Atlanta.
A working actress on such films as 12 Years a Slave, such TV productions as Banshee, Being Mary Jane,
Bloodline,
Stay
and the Bees, yep.
Greenleaf, and we're trying to get into some C's and D's.
Yes.
But what's interesting, as I shared in the last segment, Vivian is one of my oldest friends, and I would like to talk to her about what it took for her to pursue this dream of being an actress. And let me ask this: had it always been a dream? Because you had gone through other jobs, other careers. Married for a long while, and at what point in time in your life did you say, I need this to be about me, and I need to do what it is that I'd like to do where my heart's leading me? Okay,
you brought up Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes.
So I started as a performer, started in high school with the drill team. And after we were getting ready to graduate, 3 of my girlfriends came to my home, and they took me to this orientation. It was at Plant High School, and it was about swashbucklers. I didn't know who they were, right? And so my girlfriend said, well, we're going to try out. And I said, okay, good for you. I'll cheer for you, Right. And so next thing I know, they're calling my name, and I was like, why are they calling my name? Well, we put in an application for you.
Oh, wow.
My first question was, what picture did you use?
Right.
And then, so 4 of us tried out. I was the only one that made it.
Oh, wow.
Which was kind of odd and, and strange.
So good about that.
So I did that 4 years. And from high school to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I always had that little performer in me. But it was always behind dance and through dance. So when I graduated from high school, did the swashbuckler thing for 4 years, then I started having to work a real job, got into the Postal Service. And I still had that performer in me. Didn't know how to manifest her in a different outlet. And so I found an acting group. And a month later, I found I was pregnant with my first son. and I went into mommy mode.
Right.
And I remember my acting coach saying, we can take your headshots now, and then after your baby, you'll lose weight and you'll be ready to go. And I was like, no, you don't understand. I'm having a baby. Right. She was like, no, I do understand. Headshots now. And I was like, no. I quit. I stopped. And it, full circle, 15 years later, my firstborn is standing in the kitchen, towering over me. And I know in a blink of an eye, he's going to be going to college. Mm-hmm. And then my youngest is 21 months behind him, but in school, they're only a year apart. So he's going to be right behind him. And I said, I need to find something to do with myself, or it's not going to be a cool look on me when I'm stalking my children in college. That wouldn't be good for them. So I decided to just sit still I took the time to sit still for a week. And I remember asking myself over and over, what am I not doing that I should be doing? Mm-hmm. I just kept asking that question, and I sat still, and I would listen, and it kept coming up, acting. Wow. So I just started doing some research and found a coach who was one of the coaches that I looked at attending 15, 20 years ago. So I signed up. It was November of 2009. So I've only been doing this like roughly 8 years.
Wow.
And I went full in. I dived head, feet, arms, the whole body in. And the class was Monday through Thursday. You can go 1 day a week, or you can go all 4, or a combination thereof. I went up 4 days. And the next thing I knew, I did a showcase, and that secured me an agent. I got the agent, and the first gig I booked, which I didn't mention on my resume, was Army Wives.
Oh, wow.
In 2010.
Yeah,
I was Mrs. Martinez. Do you see the theme?
Yes.
Mrs. Martinez, Mrs. Ortiz, Alvarez.
Right.
But Army Wives was my first introduction to TV episodics.
I like that word, episodics. I'm going to start using that.
Oh, whatever.
Well, here's the thing. We did not grow up with a multitude of examples of people that could go on to do film. Why did you think that was possible? And how did you know that there was a supportive instructional entity in Tampa, Florida, that could get you to Hollywood?
One of the things I've said several times and many times is that I'm glad I didn't get into this industry when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, because I was a different person. I was reactionary. I was very defensive. And you might look at me wrong, and I was like, what?
Right.
But I think the journey through the Postal Service, through the real estate, all gave me skills that prepared me for the business side of this industry. In my teaching and in my schooling, she taught us BIC, Business, Instrument, and Craft. So it was, my journey is my journey. So I think it was important for me to go through those before I engaged in the entertainment industry.
Now, aside from the taking of classes, you said that you did a showcase and it secured you an agent.
Yes.
How do you go from agent to getting the work? I mean, you were in Tampa. Did you move to another market? How does a person in Tampa end up in film?
No, I have to tell you, it's just the hustle, the straight up hustle. I learned skill sets that I didn't have. I learned how to record my auditions. I learned how to edit auditions. I learned how to use editing software so that I could record my auditions, send them to my agents, who then would send them to the casting directors. Mm-hmm. So that's the beauty of the entertainment business today.
Today, right.
Yes,
technology.
Technology makes it really, really easy. I have a small studio. I have one room in my house that I dedicate that to studio. Mm-hmm. And it has my blue wall, my lights up. And so I don't have to set anything up. I just have to walk in and do the work, send it, and then let it go.
Right.
And that's the key, is let it go. There's a lot of times we are sitting and holding on, what's going on? When am I going to hear from my agent?
Yeah, because once you do an audition, you were saying during the break
control.
that once you do the audition, you let it go.
Yeah, it's out of your control. And so it took a while to learn that, because when you are vulnerable and you want to do work and you're ready to do work and you think you can do every character, you tend to sit and pine over it. And I was sharing with you earlier that there was Banshee. I booked it, and I remember when the agent, I tried to convince her that I didn't audition for it because I couldn't remember auditioning for the show. I was like, I didn't audition for that show. She was like, yeah, you did. Yeah. So that was kind of funny. And the same thing with Queen Sugar. When I booked Queen Sugar, we were going through some family trauma at the time, and so I really didn't remember booking auditioning for Queen Sugar. But you just let them go. You do your work because you don't have any control after it goes out into cyberspace.
You also mentioned that being in Florida, you travel a lot, to go to places where you have to work.
Yes.
Speak to me and to our audience, because let me back up and first say that what's so interesting about our conversation and what the insights that you can give for somebody who is soon to be an A-lister and working her way to that plateau, there's still a lot of work to be done. And even though we may be in a small market here in Atlanta is arguably the number 3 market in America, number 5 in the world for TV and movie production. And some I've heard said when you wrap all of that up, it might even be the number 2 market. But being in Atlanta, being in Florida, traveling, you spoke last week about it being a hustle, there being a drive that you have to go get it.
It is. I think I shared with you and said that we have to be nomads. We basically are nomads. We are going. Depending on how far it is or how quick I have to turn around is, I might drive or I might fly. So when I booked 12 Years a Slave, I got a text from my agent in Louisiana, have you auditioned for this production at 10:30 at night? I said no. I was in class. I left class. Went home, did research on the time period, of how I have to do the hair, what I have to dress like. Did the audition that morning, got a call that afternoon, maybe late evening, and said, the director wants to see you tomorrow. I went, Nolans, right? Right? Because I'm in Tampa, right? So that means last-minute flight to New Orleans. So I booked my flight, flew out to New Orleans, did my audition, which was probably 5 to 10 minutes in front of the director, and then I'm back on the plane coming back to Tampa. And, last-minute flights are not cheap. So there's a lot of
So that speaks to needing the budget.
Using your money wisely. The first gig, Army Wives, I wasn't in here to play. I booked Army Wives. I got paid on Army Wives. I took that money and I joined the union.
Oh, wow.
Because it's important, if you want to be a professional and be treated like a professional, you want those initials behind your name. And that's SAG. Back in the day, that's before SAG and AFTRA had merged, so I originally joined AFTRA first. And then after I did 12 Years a Slave, SAG.
Now tell, as lay people, tell us what the SAG is and what it means to your career moving forward for work.
SAG is Screen Actors Guild, and then you have AFTRA, which is an American Film, Television, Radio Association. Those are the unions. Those are the people that negotiate our contracts, our salaries, our conditions, our working conditions. So it's just like if you are an attorney, you have Esquire, ESQ at the end of your behind your name. Some professionals have PA, professional associations, LLC, Inc. You are in a professional business, and so it's almost just like showing that you are doing your due diligence to be professional.
Right. Now, what are some of the projects that you have coming up, and what should we look forward to, all the things that you're involved in, be it your own projects or?
I have another music video that I'm going to be directing, and then I have a screenplay that's untitled right now and in its final process. It just went through its final read-through with local actors and as well as another editor. And then I'm going, hopefully, to California for a 3-month stay to try to dip my toe in that market.
Now, when you say you're going to go there and you're looking for work, or?
I'm always looking for work. So it's funny because I drive with my camera if I can fit in a light in my car, because I have been known to do an audition in a hotel room real quick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, when I go to California and I want to go into like 3 months increments ago, because I want to be bi-coastal. I'm a Florida girl. I'm not going anywhere. And that's what's beautiful about this industry. I can work it at my leisure, and I'm going to accept and say, yes, thank you for the nice, kind words of A-listers out in the universe. Thank you very much.
Right. Well, once again, thank you for coming on, because here again, I think that what's important in your story for so many people would be, and we spoke during the break of how to win. And that really started with making a decision, and to have been a mother, a wife, a professional, to say that, hey, this is something that I feel I need to do and pursue it, and be smart about how to go about it, is something that I think so many of the kids that I meet here that are trying to be in the industry, they look at it like, I'm just going to do it. Never mind the craft and the work and the study and the networking and the business and everything. And so I think it's important for people to hear that and know that in less than 5 to 7 years' time, you can get to a place of where you are, but for having done the work.
Yes.
So thank you for coming on. It was
You're
great
welcome.
to see you. I hadn't seen you in
Same
over
here.
20-something years, I think.
I know.
And,
We can't let another 20-something years go by, Lucky, I swear.
No way. Well, here again, thank you.
You're welcome.
I hope our listeners can glean something here that they can use. And moving forward, we with all the activity that we have in Atlanta in the entertainment industry, I'm sure we'll talk more about some of this stuff. And I hope to have you call in and give some insights to some of helping us make sense of some of what we're seeing here in the marketplace.
Absolutely.
This is Andre White, and you're listening to Andre White Talks. Thank you for tuning in.
Across the ocean, across the sea, young boys and girls die for you and me. ISIS is trying to make us stand, but you and I know there's no man. We're American. We're Americans. We're American. We're Americans. American join ISIS because they were
This is Andre White, and I'd like to thank actress Vivian Fleming Alvarez of Greenleaf and 12 Years a Slave for being on the Andre White Talk show today. And I'd like to also ask our listeners to log on to love860.com and or the GeorgiaSentinelNews.com, and right here at the Georgia Sentinel's YouTube station for future episodes of the Andre White Talk show. Thank you.